Hi everybody, and welcome to this online class which is mainly guided around yoga for sport. My name's Amanda, and when I'm not practicing yoga I spend a lot of time doing running. I'm an ultra runner specifically, and yoga has been a huge benefit to me in terms of adding to my strength, my flexibility, balance, coordination, breathing, whole heap of benefits, and I'm sure you maybe already know this and that's why you're here, and if not, you'll be amazed at the difference that a regular yoga practice can make to your sport. Whether it's running, whether it's cycling, golf, whatever, you'll find a huge benefit. So for our practice today, we're going to start in a cross-legged position. So find yourself grounded on your mat, cross-legged, half lotus, on your knees, wherever is comfortable for you. Rest your hands lightly on your knees or in your lap, and if it's comfortable for you to do so today, just gently allow your eyes to close. If not, just soften your gaze and look down towards the front of your mat. So we're going to take a few moments here to settle ourselves into our practice. So find your peace, find some balance, and start to focus only on you and the benefit that today's practice will bring you. Start to steady your breath, breathing in and out slowly and steadily through your nose. You may wish to count your breath in for 3 or 4 and out for 3 or 4, and continue that nice steady pattern, following your breath as it goes through your nostrils and fills up into your lungs. Feel your lungs expand side to side, front and back. And exhaling fully. And on your next breath, feel it travelling deep into your belly. Let your belly fill up. Nobody can see it. And exhaling fully. So continuing to fill your body with some nice, fresh, calming breath. And while we're finding the steadiness and the pattern in the breath, we want to think about lengthening the spine so your sit bones are grounded into the earth beneath you. And feel as if there's a gentle lift up through the crown of your head. So lengthening in your neck, a lengthening in your spine. Shoulders are relaxed, and you can keep that length without sinking as you exhale. So bringing your awareness into your body and having a little scan, an acknowledgement of how your body feels tonight. No judgment, just an awareness of anything that feels a little bit tight. You may have been sitting at your desk all day, you may have had some tough training sessions this week. But focusing on what you want to get out of this yoga practice tonight. Set yourself a little intention. This may be around building some strength in your body, improving your flexibility. Or maybe today it's just to find out how your body feels and notice any new sensations any differences from side to side or limb to limb. Opening your eyes on your next inhale and taking your left hand onto your right knee. Take your right hand and place it at the base of your spine. Inhaling, lengthen the spine. Exhaling to rotate, so looking round over your right shoulder. And you want the rotation here gently to begin with at the start of the class to come from the waist. You're not just swinging your head round. You should feel lower, middle, upper back all gently twisting. Inhaling back to centre. Right hand onto left knee, left hand on the mat at the base of the spine. Inhale to lift, exhale to rotate round to the left. And just noticing how your body feels on this side compared to the other side. Keeping the length in your spine and maybe just deepening slightly with your exhale. And then inhaling back to centre. From here, stretching your right arm out to about 45 degrees, reaching down to the end of your mat or out to the side of your mat, reaching those fingertips away on your right side and gently dropping your left ear down towards your left shoulder. Keeping your torso straight and just feeling that stretch down the right side of your neck. Then just take your gaze down towards your left knee. You'll just feel different muscles in your neck being activated here. Inhaling, bring your head back up to centre and swap your arms over. So left fingertips reaching out to the edge of the mat, right ear down to right shoulder. Feel the energy, feel the stretch in your neck. Your head is such a heavy thing, especially if you're running or if you're cycling and it's an effort to hold it up. And same again, just taking your gaze down slightly to your right knee. And inhaling back to centre. And take your hands behind you slightly, so about a hand's length behind you, fingertips pointing to the back of your mat. Inhaling, lifting your chest up towards the sky. Exhaling, you might gently let your head fall back. Your sit bones are grounded into the mat, so we're looking for a heart opener here and a gentle back bend. So you might have a slight softening in your elbows. And then inhaling up to centre. Rolling over onto your knees. So knees together. We're going to tuck our toes under. It's one of my favourite poses, this. It hurts quite a lot. It can be quite an intense sensation. So you can either sit back, your hips back down onto your heels, which can be really intense. You can bring the weight off a little bit or all the way up, so your torso is upright. If it's really horrible for you, just take your feet flat onto the floor. But try a little bit, trying to tuck those toes under, stretching the soles of your feet out. Now we're going to inhale, lift our arms up by our ears, shoulders away from our ears. And then sweeping our arms down, clasping our hands behind us, and lifting our chest up towards the sky again. And then inhaling up through centre, bring your arms out to the front, clasp them in front of you, palms facing in towards you. Drop your chin down to your chest and push your hands away whilst pushing your elbows out to the side. So we're looking for a stretch across your upper back, your shoulders here, and into your neck. And then inhaling, uncurl your toes, give them a little bash on the floor, and coming down into cat-cow pose now. So some spine mobilization to begin with. So your fingertips are nice and wide, your wrists are under your shoulders, knees hip width apart under your hips, and tops of your feet flat on the floor. As you exhale, dropping the crown of your head and your tailbone down towards the mat, navel in towards spine, a nice curl, and then breathing the opposite way, so crown of the head and sit bones up towards the sky. Exhaling, head and tailbone down towards the mat. Inhaling, belly towards the mat, head and tail up towards the sky. It's a nice steady mobilization, helps articulate all your vertebrae. From here, keeping your wrists where they are, just gently rocking your body forwards and backwards, working on some wrist mobilization, and taking your fingertips to point out to the side of your mat. Again, gentle rock, working with your breath, forwards and backwards. And then if you can, fingertips in towards your knees. This one can be quite uncomfortable, so be gentle with yourself. And if it's not good for you, just revert back to the first position. And then just a gentle rock here. And then hands back to the front. From here, inhaling, lifting your right arm up towards the sky, gazing up towards your thumb. And for thread the needle, we're going to exhale, take that arm all the way underneath your left shoulder. So right shoulder, right ear onto the mat, hips stay high, tops of your feet pressing gently into the mat. And breathing into the space that you've created. Inhaling to unwind, take your right arm all the way back up to the sky again, and then exhale, placing it down on the mat. Inhaling, left arm up, gaze towards your thumb. Exhaling, thread the needle, back of your left hand, left shoulder, left ear onto the mat, and hips stay high. Inhaling to unwind, left arm to the sky, follow it with your gaze, and left hand onto the mat. From here, walking your hands forward, we'll go into puppy pose or melting heart, so hands towards the front of your mat. You're aiming here to keep your forearms and your elbows off the mat as you softly lower your chest down towards the mat. You can have your forehead resting lightly on the mat or an inch or so off the mat. Again, hips high, nice stretch opening up your upper body. Taking a couple more breaths here. Slow and steady. And then walking your hands back in. From here, we're going into a couple of Supermans on each side. So left hand, left arm, reach it out in front of you, palm facing in. Straighten your right leg, lift it up to hip height, toes pointing down. Find your balance, get yourself nice and steady. And then exhaling, bringing your knee and elbow to meet under your body. So navel into spine, nice slow curl. Inhaling to reach heel and fingers away. Turn your palm to face the ceiling. And same again, really slow exhale. Bringing knee and elbow to meet. Nice curl in the spine. Inhaling to reach away. And then placing hands and knee back onto the mat. And the other side, so right arm out in front, palm facing in. Left leg, hip height, pushing your heel away. Stretching, finding that opposition of the stretch across your body. Exhaling, slow crunch, knee to elbow. Inhaling, reaching away. Turning your palm to face the ceiling. Exhale, slow crunch. Inhaling, reaching away, hands and knee to the mat. So starting to really engage the core, you might feel those abs switching on there. So in case they're not, we're going to move into a plank. So fingers spread nice and wide, fingertips pushing into the mat. And either coming up onto your toes into a high plank. So the weight in your shoulders slightly forward of your wrists. Slight unlocking of your elbows. Reach the crown of your head towards the front of your room. Push your heels towards the back. Everything's switched on. If high plank's not good for you, knees on the mat, but same length in the body. Bum down so that you've got a nice straight body. So really good for core and muscle definition across the whole body here. Inhaling, lifting yourself up into a downward facing dog. So you might want to walk your feet in a little bit, a little bend in the knees, a little softening through the shoulders. Take any movement that feels right for you to find a nice down dog. Lifting your hips towards the sky. A gentle softening and hollowing out of your lower abdomen. And exhaling to push your chest towards your thighs. Gaze can be in towards your knees or up towards your navel. Taking a couple more breaths here. On an inhale, stretching your right leg up behind you, three-legged dog. And then exhaling, slowly bringing your knee through towards your nose and coming through into a box lunge. So your right leg is forward, your left knee is grounded underneath your hip. Find your balance, steady your breath, and take your arms up. So out to cactus arms, so your arms are out at shoulder height. I'll show you this way around. Fingers nice and wide, so great energy coming through your fingers. Opening up your chest, strengthening your shoulders. Feel engagement right through your core and through both legs. So we're going to do a rotation first. So inhaling, lengthen the spine, lengthen through the torso. Exhale to rotate, keeping your cactus arms towards the left side of your body. Taking a couple of breaths here. Keep those elbows strong, shoulders strong. Inhale, back to center. Bring your hands into prayer at the center of your chest. And then tuck your left elbow on the outside of your right knee, right thigh. And twist your chest, your upper body, round towards the right side of your body. You can take your gaze up towards the ceiling. And either pushing down strong through your left knee to keep your balance, or you can tuck your toes, straighten your back leg, keep your hips low, and keep your chest spiraling up towards the sky. If your back leg straight, knee back to the mat, unwind and unclasp your hands. Move into a hamstring stretch. So good for all us sporty people, particularly our runners, got particularly tight hamstrings. We need to work on those. So you might want to take your leg forward a little bit. If you're like me, this doesn't always flow quite as well as I think it should. Point your toes, flex your toes towards your face, and then we're going to lower our torso, our upper body, hinging from the hips, so folding in towards your right leg. You can place your fingertips on the mat as if they're glued, and then as if you're trying to pull your fingers away from the mat. So we're looking for a stretch in the back of your right leg. So play about with it and find where works for you. Then inhaling, coming back up. Bending your right leg back into your box lunge again. And we'll move into lizard pose here. So bringing your hands down onto the mat, inside your right foot. So I'll just show you from this angle. So your hands inside your foot, and your right knee can press into your right shoulder. So you can work with this from here, or you can take your left leg back, so then you get the benefit of a nice stretch through the front of your left hip as well. So what we don't want is your right leg flopping out to the side, so keep it strong, keep it engaged. So you should feel a good opening up right through your hips and pelvis area. This might be enough for you. If you want to take it a little bit further, you can come down on one elbow, you can come down on two, you might get further down, but I'm not. So find what works for you. And taking a couple more breaths here. Chest open towards the front of your mat. Good engagement through your hips. And then tuck your left toe under, push into both hands and step yourself back to plank. So a couple of breaths here in plank again, either knees off the mat or on the mat. And then exhaling, elbows bent, slowly, slowly, slowly lower yourself down to the mat. Untuck your toes. Take a breath here. And then inhale, chest lifting into a low cobra. So pushing your hands gently into the mat, but the lift should come from your lower back. Exhaling to release. Inhaling, push back through plank into downward facing dog. Couple of breaths in downward facing dog. You might find your heels are closer to the mat than they were earlier. You might find one side feels completely different because we've worked it more. Inhaling, left leg straight up behind you into three-legged dog. Then exhaling, taking your knee through towards your nose and coming through into our box lunge again. It's the same pattern on this side. Arms up, good strong shoulders, lengthen across your back and your chest, cactus arms. Inhale, length, exhale, turning towards the right side of your body. Inhale to center, hands pressed together in prayer at the front of your chest. Exhaling, right elbow to the outside of the left knee and spiral your chest towards the sky. And if you want a little bit more challenge, tuck your right toes, straighten your right leg, keeping your hips low. I can feel my left glute firing up now. And bringing yourself back to center. So hamstring stretch again on this side. So slide your left leg forward, toes flexing towards your face, hinging from the waist. Find the stretch in the back of the left leg, coming down onto your fingertips, glue them to the mat and gently pull them away. Inhaling back to center, palms onto the mat on the inside of your left foot and into our lizard variation. So you might want to stay here with your left knee pressing into your left shoulder. You might want to walk your right leg back to find that stretch through your psoas. So your psoas muscle, really important, particularly implicated in lower back pain as well. It gets very short if you're a cyclist and you're bent over. So taking a couple of breaths here, and you might want to come down onto one elbow or two elbows. Your head might get onto the top of your hands, or you could put a block there and use a block as well. Inhaling and coming back up to our box lunge position. Placing your hands onto the mat in front of your left foot and stepping your right foot forwards to meet your left. And we're just going to hang like a rag doll. So letting your arms hang, letting your head hang. You might want to just straighten and bend your knees a little bit. Take hold of opposite elbows and just swing your hips and your upper body in opposite directions. Great mobilization for your lower back. And then gently, vertebrae by vertebrae, rolling yourself all the way up to standing and sweeping your arms up overhead into high mountain. So feel the engagement through your whole body. So your toes, spread them nice and wide on the mat. A gentle lift in your kneecaps, toning through your thighs. Navel drawing slightly in towards your spine, just so your belly's a little bit engaged. Shoulders away from your ears and fingertips reaching towards the sky. So great for your posture, great for toning, and good for those all important glutes. Exhaling, folding forwards, palms onto the mat. Inhaling up to a halfway lift, so hands onto your shins, crown of your head reaching forward, tailbone reaching to the back of the room. Exhaling to forward fold, gentle bend in your knees, palms on the mat. And then sweeping your arms all the way back up to high mountain again. From here, taking hold of your right wrist with your left hand. Pressing down through both feet again, spread your toes nice and wide, push them into the mat. And as you exhale, taking a side bend towards the left. So pushing a little bit further down through your right foot. Feel the stretch down the right side of your body. Lengthening, creating space, and breathe into your right lung. Inhaling to centre, swapping your wrists over, so taking hold of your left wrist with your right hand, and on your next exhale, bending towards the right. So stretching left arm, left fingertips, and pushing down through your left foot. Inhaling back to centre. Exhaling to forward fold, hands onto the mat, gentle bend in your knees. Inhale, halfway lift, stretch your arms out in front of your head as if you're holding a balloon in front of your head. Tailbone reaching to the back of the room, fingers stretching to the front. Exhaling to forward fold. And then deepening the bend in your knees, we're going to come up through chair pose. So nice deep bend in your knees. And bringing your hands into prayer at the centre of your chest. So as if you're sitting on an imaginary chair. So this is a great pose for toning your legs, and we're going to add in a twist and chest stretch too. So if your balance isn't working for you today, take your feet a little bit further apart, and wherever you are, sink a little bit deeper. You want to keep your knees further back than your toes to avoid any injuries. From here, take your left hand onto the outside of your left shin, shoot your right hand up towards the sky. And then see if you can sit a little bit lower. Exhale, bring your right hand down, hands in prayer. Sink in your chair a little bit. Next exhale, other side, so right hand onto left shin, left hand towards the sky, sitting back in your chair. Your thighs might be talking to you quite loudly now. It's all good. Try and fire up your glutes to support. Exhale, hands to centre of your chest. Stretch your hands up overhead, and then see if you can come up onto your tiptoes. So tailbone reaching down, lower abs lifting in and slightly up. And then heels to the floor. Hands by your side, bring yourself up to standing. Well done. Good one for super warm. Everything is fired up. From here, take your hands onto your hips and bring your right knee up to hip height. So right knee at right angles in front of your hip. As you exhale, See if you can take your right leg out to the side. So I'll show you from this side, right leg up, so hip open to the side. Trying to keep your torso lengthened, crown of your head lifted, and strong through your left leg. Bring your right knee back to the center of your body, and then slowly, slowly, slowly taking your foot back. We're coming into a high lunge. So slowly to the back of your mat, onto your tip toes with the right foot. Deepen the bend in your left leg and sweep your arms up overhead, shoulders away from your ears. So looking here to just tuck your pelvis under a little bit. You should feel, or you might feel, an extra bit of awareness into your psoas. So these muscles into your quad and your psoas in the front of your right hip. Sweeping those arms up. And as we exhale, we're just going to dip down with the back leg and bring our arms down into cactus. Inhale, straighten your back leg and arms up above your head as if you're holding a balloon. Exhale, dipping down, cactus arms. Inhale, reaching your arms up overhead. Placing your back foot, your right foot onto the mat about 45 degrees. And sweeping your arms up this time into warrior one. So pushing your palms together. Deepen the lunge in your left leg if you've come up slightly. Gaze up towards your thumbs. So a little warrior sequence, because warrior is brilliant for strength, for stamina, focus. Push down through both feet. Exhale, bringing your arms to shoulder height into warrior two. Turn your right toes out slightly. I always like to have a cheeky little extra length. Sink deeper into your lunge. Gaze towards your left fingertips. Keep your torso centered over your hips and try and rotate, roll your thighs away from each other. Feel the engagement, feel the strength building in your inner thighs. Taking your left arm up towards the sky, lengthening through the left side of your body. Right hand, reach it down your right leg. Try to avoid pushing on your knee. Into reverse warrior. Push down through your left foot, stretch up through your left hand. And either gaze up towards your left thumb or down towards your back foot. Inhale, up through warrior two. And then taking your left hand down on the inside of your left foot, sweeping your right arm so it reaches in a direct opposition to your right foot. So stretching your right fingers towards the top corner of your room, pushing down through your right foot. And then inhaling up through warrior two, stepping yourself back to the front of your mat and back into Tadasana, mountain pose. So go through the same sequence on the other side. I'm going to move to the opposite side of my mat just so it might be easier for you to see. So grounding down through your right leg, lifting your left knee up and working on that hip opening. So firing up your left glute to open your left hip. Bringing that knee back to center. Slowly, slowly, slowly coming into our high lunge. So this time, right leg forward, deepen the bend in the right leg, tuck in your pelvis under, find the stretch through the front of your left hip, up on your toes at the back, wobble a little bit, sweeping your arms up overhead, exhaling to dip down, cactus arms, inhaling arms up, straighten your back leg, exhaling dip, cactus arms, inhaling balloon overhead. Dropping your left foot down 45 degrees, pressing your hands together, warrior one. Deepen your lunge in your right leg. Gaze towards your thumbs. Find the strength, find the focus. Exhale, sweep your arms out into warrior two. Wind your stance if you need to. Torso centered, deepen the lunge in your right leg. Gaze strong and steady towards your right middle finger. Rolling your thighs away from each other. Inhaling, right hand up. Reverse warrior, left hand, stretch it down the outside of your left leg. Find the length in the right side of your body. Deepen the right lunge and gaze down at your left foot. Inhale up through warrior two. Sweeping your right hand down to the inside of your right leg and sweeping your left hand through, stretching your fingertips towards the top corner of your room. Push your right shoulder and right knee in opposition to each other. And spiral your chest towards the sky. Inhaling up to standing and turning your toes out. So we're coming into a wide leg position here. Both feet pointing out about a 45-degree angle to the outside of your mat. So we're going to move into goddess pose, another really good strengthener for your hips, your inner thighs. Find your focus. I'm going to add my favourite thing tonight, cactus arms, to feel the opening and strengthening of your chest and arms. So good strong cactus arms, fingertips spread nice and wide. Find your balance, your grounding. Switch your glutes on, switch your inner thighs on, and sink your hips down. So go where it feels good for you. If you're loving this, try coming up onto your tiptoes, see if you can keep your balance. So your torso is nice and straight. I'll give you a side view. Ideally not leaning like this. You want to be nice and centered, whether you're on your tiptoes, whether your feet are flat on the mat. 2 more breaths here. Feel the love. Heels down, straighten your legs. Walk your feet in a little bit and forward fold. So feel the release. Let your head hang, let your arms hang. You might want to just jiggle your legs a little bit. Take a couple more breaths here. And then inhale, bend your knees, sweep your arms up overhead. Gently pressing your palms together, gazing up to your thumbs. Exhale, sweep your arms behind you, place your hands onto your lower back. Squeeze your elbows together, head back, gentle back bend. Using your hands for support on your lower back. Inhaling up to standing. Sweep your arms up again. Exhaling to forward fold. Palms to the mat. Inhaling, halfway lift with airplane arms. So fingertips reaching towards the back of the room. Crown of your head towards the front of the room. Good, strong, switched on legs. Exhale to forward fold and walk your feet back into downward facing dog, and we'll pause here for a few breaths. And just notice how you feel. How does your body feel? Warm, energized, strong. Find some rest in your downward facing dog. On your next inhale, taking your right leg up into three-legged dog, sweeping it through and coming down so that your right knee is just behind your right wrist. So we're coming for Pigeon Pose here. So we're going to straighten our left leg out behind us. Right knee is behind your wrist and the front of your shin. You're looking to bring your left foot towards your left hand. So I'll show you from this angle, if we can fit in the camera. So you might not get your foot all the way over. It might just be back here. Take your left leg back. Again, you'll feel stretch through the front of your left hip. Feel the engagement on your right glutes. Such important muscles, our glutes. And this might feel good, it might feel horrible. You might want to take a block and sit a block under your right thigh, onto your right glute, just to take a little bit of the pressure off. You might come up onto your fingertips and puff your chest out towards the front of the room. If that feels good, you might want to come down onto your forearms, your elbows. You might be able to come down forehead onto the mat or onto your hands. Wherever you are, work with your own limits. It can be quite intense for a lot of people, this stretch, but it's hugely beneficial. Inhaling to unbind. Push yourself back to downward facing dog. Give it all a little shake. Take your left leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale to bring your left leg through pigeon on the left side. So left knee behind left hand, left foot coming towards right hand, and stretching your right leg out behind you. So again, stretching your hip flexors out, stretching your glutes, really big, important muscles for every day, but also for running, for cycling. And flexible hips can really help protect our knees as well. So chest reaching towards the front of the room again. You might come up onto your fingers, you might use your block underneath your left glute, your left thigh, or you might sink down onto forearms or forehead onto the mat. Taking some good, deep, steady breaths here. Observe the differences between both sides. No judgment, just acknowledge and breathe into any areas of tension. Inhaling back up to centre and stepping yourself back, this time into high plank with your knees on the mat or not. Switching core on, shoulders on. Exhaling, slowly bend your elbows, lower your body to the mat. Hands underneath your shoulders, tops of your feet flat on the mat. And inhaling, chest open, low cobra. Exhaling to lower, pushing yourself back up. And we'll come back through downward facing dog. Just a couple of short breaths here. Stepping your feet towards your hands and rolling back up to standing. So one last standing posture before we hit the floor. So we're going to go for a standing figure of 4 again. Real focus on glutes, strength, stability, good strong quads, good strong ankles, and focus on your core. So sometimes my balance is a bit squiffy on this one, so bear with me. So we'll go strong in the left leg first, and we'll start hands on hips. As an alternative to this, you may just want to have some tree in your life, so you might just want to put the sole of your foot onto your inner shin, inner calf, or into your inner thigh. But if we're going for standing figure of 4, strong in the left leg, bend your right leg up and take your right ankle onto your left thigh. So bend in your left thigh, create a little shelf, find something steady to focus on, or you can hold it onto a wall, use a wall for balance, and sink a little bit deeper. We're going to take our arms up in front of us, elbows to shoulder height, push our forearms and our palms together, and then gently try and push our forearms away from us. So feel that working in your shoulders. Keep your elbows shoulder height, sink into your figure 4 stretch. Inhaling to release. So same again, other side. Find your strength in your right leg. Either have some tree action, strong hip, glute work going on there, or bring left ankle onto right thigh, bend your right leg, sitting back, torso leans slightly forward. Find a point of focus, arms up, press your forearms, press your palms together, elbows shoulder height, gently try and push your forearms away and sink into your figure 4 stretch. Find your breath, find your concentration. And then unbind. Good work, good effort, good strong focus. So we're going to sit down onto our mats now. You may be glad to hear. We'll pause in Dandasana. So up on your sit bones, engage through your thighs, roll, squeeze your thighs together, flex your feet towards you, torso engaged, chest lifted, gaze towards your toes, palms resting lightly next to your hips and shoulders away from your ears. Steadying your breath back down. So really good for posture, Good for back strength. And getting your focus back on your breath. The breath's so important, improving our respiration, improving our cardio performance. Two more breaths here. Then bringing the soles of your feet together, letting your knees drop out to the side. We're going to move into a folded butterfly. So again, up on your sit bones, chest lifted. I like to take my arms through my knees, hands onto the top of my feet. Inhaling to find the length, exhaling to fold my torso towards my feet. If you don't like tucking your arms under or it's not working for you today, just take hold of the top of your feet, tuck your elbows in and stretch your chest towards your feet. Lengthen through the neck, steady your breath. It's a good stretch for inner thighs, groin and knees. Inhaling back to centre and moving into a reverse plank. We'll have a little windscreen wiper first, so knees together. Just swish your legs side to side. And then we're going to come into our reverse plank. So stretching your legs out, pointing your toes, taking your hands slightly behind you, pushing into your palms and inhaling, lifting your hips. So a little softening in your elbows, pushing your toes into the floor, keeping a lift in your hips up. If reverse plank isn't working for you tonight, reverse tabletop, so feet flat on the floor, hands in the same position and lifting your hips up, letting your head hang back if it's comfortable to do so. Wherever you are, lifting your hips, 2 more breaths, and then lowering your bottom to the mat. From here, straighten your left leg, bring your sole of your right foot to the inside of your left thigh. Inhaling, lengthen through the chest, and as you exhale, we're going to reach for our left foot. So either grabbing hold of your wrists on the other side of your foot and folding, or if that's not available for you tonight, take hold of your leggings. If you have a strap, you can put a strap around your foot, folding forward towards your left leg. Inhaling up to centre, bend your left knee, tuck your right heel in towards the outside of your left hip. Take your left foot to the outside of your right thigh. And we're going for another twist here. So take your left hand towards the base of your spine, lengthen, straighten up through the spine, lifting through the crown of your head. Take your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. And as you exhale, twisting towards the left. If that's not available for you tonight, you can just hug your left knee in and twist from there. Wherever you are, inhale to lengthen, exhale to deepen the rotation. Inhale back to centre. Unbind your legs. Right leg out straight. Sole of left foot into the inside of your right thigh. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold towards your right foot. So we're stretching out the groin here. We're working on our hamstrings, and we're also stimulating our kidneys and liver. So great to detox, get rid of all the toxins that we generate when we're burning up our muscles, running, cycling. Inhaling up to centre. Tuck in left heel in towards your right glute, taking right foot to the outside of your left thigh, and same rotation to the right here, so right hand at the base of your lower spine, and either hugging your right knee in or taking your elbow, left elbow to the outside of your right knee and rotating from there. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, rotate. So you should find by now your rotations are getting much further than they were than the one we did at the start of the class. Inhale, back to centre. Unbind your legs and slowly lowering yourself down onto your mat. Straight legs up towards the sky, as if you're trying to stand the soles of your feet onto your ceiling. Arms up, palms facing inwards. Relax shoulders, so dead bug, dead sheep. Good for Venus return, restoring and helping cleanse the body. A lovely pose to do again. I do this quite a lot after running. Feel the weight of your back just relaxing into the mat. Taking 2 or 3 more slow, steady breaths here. And then taking your feet down to the mat, knees together, arms stretched out in a T shape or in cactus. Just drop your knees over towards the left. Take a couple of breaths. Inhale, back to centre. Exhale, drop your knees over to the right. Just a gentle supine twist. Bring a bit of balance. Inhale, back to centre. Take your legs out straight on your mat into a well-earned Shavasana. So let your feet flop out to the side. Take your arms down by your side, palms facing the ceiling. Allow your eyes to gently soften, your eyelids to close. Take a long, steady breath in through your nose and sigh it all out through your mouth. Take another couple of breaths like that, and every exhale, just allowing a sense of relaxation, a softening of your muscles as you sink, supported and safe into the earth beneath you. Just returning now to your natural breath, your natural breathing. You might want to focus on the gentle rise and fall of your belly as you allow your forehead to soften. Let your eyes feel heavy and soften into your head. Your cheeks relax, your jaw soften. The muscles in your throat and your neck relax. Softening across your collarbones and your shoulders sink heavy into the mat. As you exhale, feel your arms sink, soften. Relax your fingers and relax both thumbs. Let your torso relax from your chest through your belly and every vertebrae in your back. Relax. A softening through your hips, your pelvis. They've done great things for you tonight. Allow your thighs to soften, your knees, your calves, the tops of your feet, the soles of your feet, and every one of your toes. The whole of your body relaxed. The whole of your body relaxed. Bringing your awareness back to your breath and back into the room and any sounds you can hear around about. Bring some gentle movement back into your fingers and toes. And in your own time, keeping your eyes closed, just roll gently onto one side. Taking 2 or 3 steady, calming breaths here. And gently bring yourself back up to seated, keeping your eyes closed. So a nice cross-leg position. Lengthen through your spine. Bring a smile to your face. Thank yourself and the virtual community that are practicing with you for building strength, building flexibility, building concentration and focus. Bring your hands gently together, pressing your palms at the center of your chest. Gently opening your eyes. Om Shanti. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed your practice. Please get in touch if you have any questions at all.